Okay. Okay, let's go. I'm going to send the link into the chat. All right, cool. We are live. So I've posted the link into the Telegram, and I'll just wait for some of the guys to join. Awesome. Cool. How's it going, Liam? All right, so basically what we're going to be doing today is a Q&A about YouTube, business, lifestyle, mindset, anything you want. You can drop your questions in the chat and I will go ahead and answer them. So we'll just give it a few minutes for people to join. But start sending your questions in the chat. Any questions you have, I can answer them. And yeah, I think I'll go for 40 minutes. We'll see how long, see how many questions we get. But yeah, start putting your questions in the chat. Hello. How's it going, everybody? How's it going? Okay. I'll give a few more minutes for people to join. So, yeah, any questions you have about YouTube automation, business, mindset, lifestyle, anything, go ahead and drop it down below in the chat and I'll go ahead and answer them. All right, cool. So first of all, hello everybody. Hello. So John has said, that thumbnail, what did you think? Okay, let me quickly open this on my PC. Here we go. So that thumbnail, okay, so what I'll do is I'm going to be adding a section about thumbnail creation into the private members part. So you're going to get the template for the thumbnail. So yeah, I'd recommend going ahead and using the template, and there'll be a video of how to edit it basically and all the kind of key features. But for now, just wait and it'll be ready. It'll be releasing tomorrow. But yeah, cool. So next one, he said, excited to get the ball rolling with the software. Yeah, so the software is going to be releasing tomorrow to the private members. Yeah, it's gonna be very, very good. I'll probably drop a preview of it in the chat, to be honest. Fearless says, I have a question about the video generation. Cool, send the question in the chat. Hello, Kenneth. No worries, John. For anyone that's just joined, if you have any questions about YouTube, YouTube automation, business, lifestyle, anything, drop them down below and I'll go ahead and answer them. So, Mr. Dismal has said, bro, which AI best for script? So, we do YouTube search automation. We don't do browse, so we don't really require complex scripts. We have the script generation integrated into our video production software. We've tried many different models. For us, ChatGPT kind of works the best. but we haven't, tried different models in a while, but it gives us what we need. But our software kind of uses different context for the script, so it doesn't really make a difference for us. Phyllis says, how effective is it? More like, does it generate videos based on script, or how does it work? Okay, so this is talking about our video production software. So the video production software we've got, the way that it works is you'll get your employee to turn it on their computer, and it will track every single movement that they make on their computer. And then it will analyze every single click that they take, every single action they make, and it analyzes it with AI. And it basically uses all of their clicks and it just turns that into the script. So it kind of understands what they're doing, what actions they're taking. It turns that into the script, that gets turned into an audio, then that gets automatically edited together into a video, and that is how the video gets produced. So from start to finish, including researching, it takes around 6 minutes to make one video. So an employee in a day can make around 45 videos. So it's very, very efficient. It's a bit more complicated than that on the back end, but that's kind of the most simple way I can explain how it works, essentially. So Kenneth said, bro, how can I create a faceless channel with my Android phone? And the answer is very, very simple. What we would recommend is you go ahead and you find a niche for search, and you find some tutorials in that niche, and you go ahead and screen record your Android, show them how to do the thing, and then upload it to YouTube. This way you don't have to do any crazy editing, you don't need to make scripts, you can just keep it very simple. You just screen record your steps and you're going to get high RPMs and you're going to get paid well. So that's what we'd recommend for starting if you just have a phone. It's like the easiest way to get started. For anyone that's just joined, feel free to add your questions in the chat. Anything about YouTube, anything about business, lifestyle, mindset, whatever you want, go ahead and ask them. So Manolo says, do you need to have 4,000 hours watched to be monetized? The answer is yes. There's two ways to do it. You can do it the shorts route. I think it's like 10 million shorts views. 10 million shorts views, or you can do 4,000 hours of watch time. Now, we personally do the 4,000 hours of watch time just because it's easier. And we have methods of kind of going ahead and getting that as quick as possible. Or we also recommend buying pre-monetized channels. Pre-monetized channel is a channel that's obviously pre-monetized. You don't have to do it yourself. Yeah, but there's pros and cons of each of these methods essentially. So Anush says, if initially my channel RPM is low, but if I upload higher RPM video, oh, he's changed. Can you send that question again? I think it disappeared. I don't know why. Yeah, I'm not sure why. Send that question again and I'll answer it. John says, how do you go about monitoring phone tutorials? What do you mean monitoring? You mean like with the software? This software works in the exact same way on phone. It's the exact same thing, but we'll make a more in-depth video for all of the private guys, showing you exactly how to use it. But it's the exact same process. It kind of analyzes your clicks, everything, same. It works the same. Justice says, why video didn't get impressions? I have no idea. Tell me more. Give me some more context and I'll try to answer the question. Phyllis says, thank you for the explanation. I have a really good feeling this solution you are providing will really help us with tight schedules. Yeah, it does. It really is a game changer. It allows your system to be super optimized, super efficient. And it also means that you can hire, the pool of hiring is a lot better. You don't have to hire people that are super talented. And yeah, it's like, there's nothing like it on the market. Brinkmind says, how do you decide whether to reinvest into more content versus sell the channel? For us, we generally get a channel to around 3,000 to 5,000 videos, and then we just leave it at that, and we kind of let it grow, and then just generate passive income on that. It depends on your goals really. If you need quick cash, then you can grow a channel to like 1 to 2K videos, and then you can just sell that channel. But it's really up to you. And I think I made a video yesterday about this, so if you want to know about the multiples, you can watch that. So Anush says, if my channel RPM is low, but I upload high RPM, like finance business niche, will my channel RPM increase over time? The answer is yes, but your RPM isn't going to increase on your non-finance videos. It will increase averagely over time. So if you post a load of finance videos, they will have a high RPM, which will just boost your channel average essentially. But it's not going to increase the RPM of the other videos, if that makes sense. So someone said, for beginners who's starting YouTube automation, what is best to start, long form or shorts? I mean, our answer is very obvious for this. So we always recommend you do long form search tutorials. These tutorials are about 2 minutes long. And the reason we advocate for this is, number one, it's literally zero skill. So you don't need to know how to edit. You don't need to know how to write scripts. You don't need to know anything fancy. You don't have to do fancy thumbnails. You simply just find the best and the highest demand keywords or video titles. You create the tutorials on them, which is very simple, and then it just grows consistently. There's no crazy dips, there's no crazy spikes, just consistent revenue, gives you cash flow. So if you want to reinvest into YouTube automation, you can. If you want to quit your job or something and focus more on YouTube, you can. Or if you just want side income, you can just let it grow over time. And it's just the most hands-off approach and the most consistently predictable approach. So we'd always recommend that over any other approach. Mr. Dismal says 4.0 or 0.3, which is good for script. I actually don't even deal with that side of it. I don't deal with the tech side, so I don't even know what model we're using for our script generation. But I think the results are relatively marginal for the scripts that we do. John, what do you mean by getting good testimonials? Let me know. So Suba says, how long will it take to earn at least $1,000 per month? It really depends how many videos you make. It depends if you do it yourself, if you get a VA to do it. For us to get to $1,000, it will take us about 1 to 2 months with one employee. And within 2 months, you should be around that $1,000 per month mark. At that point, if you wanted to, you could just fire the employee and it would just stay at that mark. But yeah, it would take around 1 to 2 months, depending on how many videos you make. So Manolo says, how long does it take to get 4K hours of watch time with the fast method we mentioned? So it's actually not too slow. It's about 2 months, I'd say. Again, it depends how much effort you put into it. But if you follow the strategies we suggest, it's going to take about 2 months to get monetized. That said, you can also just buy a pre-monetized channel for around $200. We have a supplier for that. But there's pros and cons of both, so it's up to you which you go for. Scrolls Edits, how are you doing? Says hello. Someone said, so if we buy a monetized channel and then it is okay that we log in from another country IP, or should we use a resident prop for it? What about AdSense? What should we link it to? So we don't use any proxies or anything crazy like that. We just do a simple setup of 1 AdSense per channel, ideally. Sometimes we have 2 AdSenses. Sometimes we have 2 channels connected to 1 AdSense. But ideally, you just structure it 1 AdSense, 1 channel. And you want to make sure that you have separate phone numbers, separate email, basically separate everything across that so it doesn't link to any other channels, essentially. Send some more questions in the chat, send some more questions. So, Alex mentioned proxy list in the Telegram. Can you elaborate further? Yeah, so for you guys in the private group with the keyword scraping tool or the video idea tool, you just have to get some proxies to run it. These are very, very cheap, like probably less than $10 per month. And it's just so that you can scrape the internet and not get banned or anything. But we'll recommend where to get them, which ones work the best. We wanted to kind of provide a solution where we would give the proxies ourselves, but we just found it's easier if we just get you to import a proxy list. But it's very, very simple, and it's like less than $10 per month to maintain that. And for that, you're going to be generating literally thousands of videos, so it's pretty chill. For anyone that's just joined, we're doing Q&A, YouTube Q&A. So any questions, leave them in the chat. Scrolls Edits says, can I make a video without voice just by doing the tutorial? So the answer to this is you could. You will make some money with it. It's not the best long-term solution, but you could start with that. Now, with the software that we've got, the custom software we use for our video production, we don't have to talk. It automatically generates a voiceover. So we would highly recommend you use our software if you want to, because it's kind of like the best on the market and it requires no talking, and it's going to get very high quality videos. Essentially, they're going to make money. But if you don't want to use that and you don't want to talk, you can just screen record, but it's not going to get the best results. John said, I've got loads of IP royal ones. Is that good? I don't know. You'll have to ask Alex, and I'm sure he'll post in the Telegram the exact ones you should go for. Sammy says, when is the software and tools releasing? So, to the private members, it's releasing tomorrow. They're going to be getting access to the tools. The keyword tool is dropping tomorrow, and then the video production software is dropping in a few days. For the public guys, we don't have an exact launch date yet. Maybe next week, we'll see. But if you guys are interested in getting access to any of these tools, send me a DM on Telegram, and I could get you on the wait list or see if any slots open up for it. But it's pretty exclusive right now. There you go. I've just dropped my Telegram in the chat. So if anyone has any questions about this or wants to get on the wait list, send me a message and we can see if anything opens up. Scrolls Edit says, if I make videos about creating accounts on platforms like Binance, MetaMask, or trading apps, how much will my RPM be? It depends. So each of these are kind of slightly different. I'm going to say it's going to be $10 to $20 plus. I can actually have a quick look, I believe. Let me see. I'll have a quick look for you. While I look at this, send some more questions in the chat. I'm going to look on my channel to see some of the RPMs I get on that. Okay, just 1 minute, just getting the RPM for this niche. Let's see, this one here. All right, so the RPM of that niche that you just spoke about, Binance, MetaMask, and trading apps, it's going to be around $15 plus. I've just looked on one of my accounts. $15 plus. It's honestly great niche to get into. I highly recommend that one. If anyone's just joined, send some more questions and I will answer them. So, Major Litty says, is being from a third world country a disadvantage when building a YouTube automation business? I mean, in terms of getting monetized. The answer is no. Like, honestly, some of the guys that do the best are from third world countries because they put a lot of effort into this, especially with YouTube search. It's very low cost to actually do. You can literally do it yourself. If you use our software, then you'll be able to produce like 45 videos per day for free. So it's like it's a really great model for people that live in third world countries. In terms of getting monetized, it's exactly the same. We actually often buy pre-monetized channels from third world countries, or that have been set up in third world countries, and they do very well. So yeah, there's literally no problem with it, and I would actually highly recommend this model for someone in a third world country, because getting to that 1 to 3k profit a month mark is like so easy. Like anybody can do that if they just stick at it for a couple of months. Like it's very easy. Brinkmind said, what's the bottleneck that no amount of software has solved for you yet? It's a good question, actually. I don't think, to be honest, we have a problem that hasn't been solved yet. So if I break it down, the video ideas we have our own software for, that generates us literally thousands of untapped, high-paying video ideas, and we literally take that list and we put that into our keyword dashboard, and then our employees go on there and they just make the videos. Then we have the production software, which allows them to make a video every 6 minutes. It costs $1 to make a video, including their wages, including any API credits. And the only thing that maybe is a bottleneck is thumbnails, but thumbnails and uploads we do manually just because it yields better results. One of our employees is an ex-YouTube employee, and he knows kind of all the ins and outs, and he kind of recommends that we do that part manually. So there's not really any process that we can optimize more with software, and if we were to, the results are quite marginal essentially, because right now it's super efficient. We're doing 7,000 videos a month, and it's just like super low cost. So someone says, this is a good question, when looking for keywords and titles, what sort of titles and keywords are you looking for? So for us particularly, we're looking for high RPM ones. Ideally, we prefer high RPM, because it means that even if a video gets like 500 views in a year, you're still going to 10 or 15x your money, or even 20x your money over 1 year. That's the first one, is high RPMs. If we're looking for like the best titles, we want ones that have rubbish competition. So the competition maybe is their videos are short, maybe they have a someone that's English isn't very clear, they have bad thumbnails, or just the overall video quality is bad, because we can beat them at all of these points and we'll just outrank them. That's our ideal situation, but honestly, it's pretty easy to do well. You could just do any videos, to be honest, and you will probably do well. It's just our software allows us to find like the best ones essentially, and it does it automatically. So we just use that. Yeah. Should a channel be only one language, or can it be more than one in the same channel? It's an interesting question, actually. So we have tested other languages. One issue that we found was that we were using the same footage for all the languages. So it gave us some kind of issues, like to do with copyright. Even though it's our own content, it can be bad for the channel. So there's that. I would say that you can just put any language on one channel, because the traffic is search based. People subscribe, but they're not going to come back to watch your other videos. So if you want to do multiple languages, do it on the same channel is fine. And yeah, doing multiple languages is cool. It's a good idea. Just be somewhat picky with the content you do, because obviously there's less market in some of these countries, but the RPMs are higher. So for example, in Germany, I think the average RPM is like $35, which is crazy. Someone says, how do you check the RPM for any niche in specific? So essentially we made so many videos, like, I don't even know, thousands and thousands of videos. So we have data for pretty much every single niche, or every single topic we have a little bit of data on. And if we don't have the data, we can look at similar niches and make a good estimation. But at this point, because we've done so many videos, we have like a really good idea of the niches and the RPMs for every single niche. This is the kind of information we share with the private members. So private members get access to this information about the niche RPMs. but we kind of keep it quiet with just, it's private members. $15 is a good RPM. It's like a really solid one, and you got to think for a 2-minute video, and if you get say 2,000 views in a year, that'll be $30, and that 2-minute video will cost you like $1, so you'll make like a 30x return. So it's great. John Tung says, do you think you'll expand to 30 employees? So we've kind of stopped growing at 10 employees, and the reason is because it's kind of a little bit more of a headache to go past that. So we've got one manager for 10 employees, and he can manage everything. The way that we set it up is we have 3 video creators, and then we have one thumbnail creator and uploader. So we have 2 teams of that. So that's 8. We have him, and then we have like 1 extra person. The problem is, once you if we want to go for 11 employees or more, we kind of have to scale to 20, because then we have to get a manager. We have to kind of have all the teams built out, and we kind of found it was a bit of a headache going more than what we've got. So we're okay where it's at, and we're making 7,000 videos a month. We actually average like a 15x return. So that's going to be around, let me have a look. That's going to be around $105,000 of monthly revenue we're going to be generating each month, if that makes sense. So we're good with this. It's stress-free as well. So someone says, I found an excellent niche. It's not too hard to replicate with AI, so there probably will be a ton of competition soon. So we literally just stick to YouTube search, as I say. This is the problem with YouTube browse as well, in my opinion, is niches blow up, and then you might be the first on it. You might catch the end of the wave. You might make a bit of money, and it's going to die off, and all the competition's going to, there's going to be so much competition. And then you have to find your next niche. You have to go back into the trenches and keep testing and testing and testing. And it's just a cycle that is super hard to systemize. It's super hard to build workflows, which is why we do search, because the business model doesn't change much. We just find the videos, we give them to the team, and they produce them. We don't always have to be figuring out new workflows, new this, new that. It's very easy to standardize. So that's one of the reasons we don't kind of mess around with browse, essentially. So you said, if I switch to Spanish speaking channel, would I have more advantages? Could I rank better by getting there first, even if the RPM is lower? What would you recommend? So I do know a few people that do run Spanish channels, and they do well. It's just about finding those untapped keywords, I guess, because obviously the RPMs will be lower, so you're going to have to find videos with more views. As a part of our software, you can actually, the video production software, you can actually produce in other languages, so you can do pretty much any language. The main, I think there's like 40 languages to pick from, and there are a lot of the main ones. Something you can do. John says, do you do referrals for the trading niche? We do not, but if you wanted to set up your YouTube search business in a way where you made money from affiliates and referrals, you could do that. But it's just kind of an avenue we haven't jumped into too much. We have done some affiliate stuff, but we don't really focus on it. Major Litty says, have you come across a niche where you couldn't really improve on already existing videos? Yeah, of course. So there are some niches. The thing is, there are some niches where it's harder. We want to make every video ever, essentially. Every search video, that's one of our goals. But, some niches are going to have a lot more competition. But even in those niches where they are highly competitive, we're still able to make money in them. So there's not really any niches that are too saturated. And the competition generally across the board is pretty low. But obviously there are niches that are very easy to tap into. Oh, this is good. I have an extensive knowledge about crypto, Binance, airdrops, and NFTs. This is cool. My question is, how many videos do you recommend I make each month, considering I create the videos myself? It depends how many hours you want to work a day on this. If you don't have a job or responsibilities or anything, and you can do this full time, and you can spend 7 hours a day on this, you can make 45 videos a day. If you make 45 videos a day for a couple months, then you'll do very, very well. You can be making over 5K profit per month within a few months. And this is, you know, if you use the software we have, then it makes it very efficient, so you can do that. But yeah, I'd recommend doing as many as possible. But even if you did like 5 videos a day, within like a couple months, you're still going to be making a couple grand profit. So like, you know, just make as many as you can. One of my biggest like regrets when I first started was I didn't make more videos, because I was like, oh my gosh, I would be making double the money right now. So make as many videos as you can. You won't regret it. Someone said, so RPMs are dependent on the region in the world, like USA audiences have more weight. Yeah, absolutely. One of the biggest factors about RPMs is the country the viewer's from. So USA is going to do well. Generally, USA does well. UK, Australia, Canada, New Zealand. Those are the primary English-speaking countries that do well. But then there are countries such as Germany, which has a high average RPM. So this is, you know, you could jump into that. But there's many other factors as well. So it's not only country, it's also the age of the person. So someone that's like between like 25 and 34 plus does very well. Stuff like under 7 is not going to do good at all. And it also depends on the type of video you do, because if you think about, you know, if you make business software tutorials, the person watching that is more likely to buy software, and software has a higher lifetime value, so the advertiser can spend more to gain the customer. Whereas like if you make videos on kids stuff, you might be able to sell a $10 toy, or the advertiser might sell a $10 toy, but you know, it's just they can't spend as much to gain the customer essentially. So you have to think about the purchasing power of the viewer as well. If you think about the type of viewer that's going to watch your video, it's a good way to gauge the RPMs. It's like, yeah. So someone said, how much does a private mentorship cost? We don't really have like a private mentorship. If you want to send me a message, I'll drop my Telegram here, and maybe we can figure something out. But we don't really offer like a private mentorship. We do have a private community, and if you're interested in joining that, we might open some more slots soon. But it's pretty exclusive right now. But yeah, send me a message here, and I can figure that out with you. Do you have a German channel yourself? We don't. We used to have a load of German videos, but as I said, we kind of messed up the production of it, and we used the same videos. We use different audio, same videos, and it kind of gives us copyright problems, or could have. So our manager, who's the ex-YouTube employee, recommended that we remove them, so we just removed them all. So yeah, but I do know people that are very successful with these other languages. Yeah, especially if you go in high RPM niches, you can do very well with that actually. Someone says, how do you spot when a niche is about to become saturated? We have many ways that we kind of look at saturation, but the main one for us is just our keyword tool. The keyword tool just does it all for us essentially. And we have, you know, our niche research methods. But it's easier to talk about how to see if a niche is unsaturated. So if you see like mum and pop type videos, which are like, you know, families or just like old people that are making YouTube videos and they're getting views and they don't know YouTube, then it's a good niche to get into. If you think about it, what you want to look for is people that don't know YouTube, they don't know how to rank, they don't know any of this stuff, they just know about their topic. Those ones are great to do. So stuff like, you know, accounting was, or still is, a very good niche, to be honest, because there's loads of accountants who make a load of tutorial videos, but they're not YouTubers, so they don't know how to make good videos, but their content is good. What they're talking about is good, so it gets views. And what you can do is you can come in and you can just replicate their videos, but better. You can have better thumbnails, you can make the quality better, you can do all these different methods to make it rank better, and then you'll outrank them. So that's kind of what we look for in a niche. Someone said, do you think it's genuinely worth getting into the niche you did, or is it just not worth it anymore? I mean, yeah, of course, we produce 7,000 videos per month. So yeah, we're like actively investing a lot of money into this. So of course. Someone said, how do you analyze a pre-monetized channel is good to go for this purpose? So there's a few factors that we look for in a pre-monetized channel. We want to make sure that the content on it is original, so we don't like any like music videos. We want to make sure it doesn't break any copyright problems. It doesn't have any like things that might get us a strike. We like to ideally look for ones that are slightly aged. We like to find ones that are organic, so we don't want botted ones. So if you find a channel that's like got, say, Beam, I think it's called Beam NG, it's like a racing simulator or something. If they have like a load of those, or like they have a load of like gaming videos on it, those tend to be really strong channels. So yeah, that's what we kind of look for. But we have a video about this for the private guys, more in depth. I spoke about all the kind of do's and don'ts. But we have a really good supplier as well. And yeah, he gives us good channels, essentially. Brinkmine says, how do you prevent duplication or overlap across channels when producing thousands of tutorials on similar topics? So as I've said, we've got our production, our keyword tool or our video tool, and the video idea tool automatically removes all of the exact duplicates, and it also removes semantic duplicates. So a semantic duplicate is a video that might be worded slightly different, but it's the same meaning. So we have a threshold slider for that, and we basically have like a fine-tuned point that will remove all of the duplicate content. So all of our content is original, and yeah, exactly. So that's basically how we do it. This is one of the perks of the software as well. Before, we would have to like just make sure the team manually checked, but now the software does it for you, so it's great. Yeah, so someone says, maybe the best way to find niches would be to see where advertisers pay the most CPM. Is there any website or source where you can check that in real time, or it's only internally inside YouTube? So there isn't like a specific one you can do for this, but yeah, this is a very good point. You want to kind of look from the advertiser's perspective and think about the CPMs they are going to be paying. CPM is cost per 1,000 views. That's how much the advertiser will pay. Something I have done in the past is I've used Google keyword ideas. Essentially the way that it works is you put in a search term and it will tell you the estimated cost per click for that search term. And this works from Google Ads, so kind of Google gives you the data on it. So you could try that. But yeah, again, we just have our own, we have so many videos and so many niches. We've covered probably every single niche, or like we've dipped our toes in it. We can kind of estimate based on previous data at this point. So A-list unlocked. Yeah, if you send me a message on Telegram, I've just dropped the link here. We can talk about the private group, and we can give you access to the wait list. Yeah, see if anything comes up. So someone says, how do you train your video creators and how long does it take? So we have our manager and he trains them, but we've given him all of the training material. So we have I think 15 different training videos we send to them. And then he'll just jump on a call with them for like a day. And then within one day, they kind of understand the process. On the second day, they start trying it out. The second day, they'll do like 20 videos. And at the end of that day, he'll do like a Q&A with them. He'll just go through it all, make sure everything's fine. And then by the third or fourth day, they kind of just get up to scratch. And usually by the fourth day, they're like hitting the 45 a day. It's because we've systemized the process very well. It's very easy to pick up. And the person doesn't have to have any skills. All they need to know is like simple data entry. They don't have to have any experience with the software. The research part is, very standardized. All they need to do is just be able to click, essentially just move their mouse around and click. It's very, very simple. If OpenAI or Google made a one-click tutorial generator, how would you stay ahead? It's a pretty niche thing that I don't think they'll do. And essentially what we've got ourselves now is like a one-click tutorial generator. Essentially that's the way it works. It just analyzes the clicks and then turns it into a tutorial. So we kind of already have that software ourselves built out. Um, it's going to be quite hard, and I find this that AI doesn't know up-to-date information, is often wrong, and it's going to be quite hard for them to generate videos for a lot of these things. And what you'll notice with AI, it can generate broad stuff, but it's quite bad at generating very specific stuff, and this has to be exactly specific, if that makes sense, and it's very complex. Which is why people watch the tutorial videos, because they want to know exactly where the buttons are. They want to visually see it, which is why the videos do so well. Someone says, if you press the button on the right side of a message link, you can pin the message. Okay, I'm not sure what that's for, but yeah. Okay, so how to get out of zero view jail. So for us, because we do search, we don't really get zero view jail. It's just a case of like uploading good videos, waiting for them to rank, and then just, yeah, that's it. Like they will rank within a few months. So yeah, we just wait for them to rank. As far as like browse content and shorts, I don't know. I've done some browse and search before, browse and shorts before. I had like a channel 10 years ago that did very, very well, but I don't know these days. We just stick to search. Someone says, you said 1 AdSense per account. How do you make lots of AdSense accounts? How much does that stuff cost? So there's a few ways to do this. The way that we primarily do it is we do it for our friends and family's accounts. We get them to set it up for us. You can also use, set up an LTD or an LLC, which is like a company, and you can have an account through that. So what you could do is you can have a personal account, and you can set up a business, and you can have a business account as well. But personally, it's a little bit easier for us to do it via your friends and family. But if you only have one channel, then you don't need to worry about that. It's only when you have multiple channels you need to start worrying about that. John says, is the private community getting the training videos? Yeah, so the videos we use to train our employees is getting dropped in the Telegram and the private group. We just need to kind of organize it so it's like a bit easier to understand, essentially. Someone says, how do people from lower RPM countries create videos targeting higher RPM countries? It's simple, just make tutorials targeting higher RPM countries. It doesn't matter where you post from. All of our videos get posted from the Philippines, which is like a third world, or I don't know if it's third world, but it's like a lower RPM country. It doesn't matter, just target the high RPM keywords. So that's all it is. It's actually easy, there's no rocket science. Someone says, could you help us find faceless niches? Because for me, at least, it is usually difficult. So yeah, what I've, occasionally in the public group, I post niches. And then in the private group, for the private guys, and as a part of the program, we have like a module on how to find these high RPM niches. And then, I drop like a lot more high RPM niches in there just because it's a smaller group and, we can just post it in there essentially. But finding high RPM niches is actually very, very simple, and there's so many out there. Like it amazes me how we make 7,000 videos a month, and it amazes me how little we're even scratching the surface. There's just like one of my favorite things to do is actually find niches, because it just like excites me. Like, oh my gosh, this is such a great niche. There's just so many of them. Someone says, how can I generate thousands of YouTube search automation videos? So, as I said, we have our own production software for this. It allows you to produce a video for $1 per. If you put an employee on this software and get them to use it, they can make 45 videos per day. These videos are very, very high quality. And it's taken us 2 years to build out this software. So the best and easiest way to actually make thousands of videos is with our software. If you want to do it manually, you can also do it manually. But yeah, our software is by far like the easiest way to do it, and the most streamlined approach. As I said, it's taken us 2 years of trial and error to just figure out how to do it. If you guys have any more questions, drop them in the chat, drop them down below. Anything lifestyle, business, mindset, YouTube, anything, go ahead and ask down below. Someone says, how many monetized channels do you currently own? I don't know the exact number. It's more than 7. But yeah, I don't know the exact number. I think between like 7 and 10 plus. But yeah. I should probably count one day. Someone says, bruh, suggest views or browse views, which is greater? So Impact Sparks, that's the name of the guy. We don't do suggest and we don't do browse. We only do search. Search is the only thing that we can, reliably predict and consistently grow, and that's like our whole strategy. And we don't bother with anything else because this strategy is just great for us, and there's no point us like trying too many things at once. It's better for us just like hyper focus on one thing. Someone says, what are your channels? How can I trust that you actually did the things you said with YouTube? I post loads of case studies in the Telegram. I show the back end of a lot of our channels, and to be honest, a lot of you guys do find our channels and like message them to me. So I think most people can probably stumble upon them quite easily. Yeah, if you jump into YouTube search, you will 100% find our channels. For anyone in the chat right now, has anyone seen our channels? Don't leak any names, please. But if you've seen the channel, just comment like yes, and you'll see that people have seen our channels. Someone says, do you do tutorials for stuff from the same niche per channel, or is it just random content? So we don't. So yeah, what you're saying is, do we put only one niche per channel? No, we don't. We've tested this out before. We've tried like channels with just one type of content on. There's not really any conclusive reason to do that. There's no real conclusive benefit. There is, there could be an argument about authority in the niche, but we don't find that it makes any difference. So we just put all of the content on across all the channels. The only thing we do have is one channel that focuses just on iPhone tutorials. That's like just one we have, and there's no really reason for that. I just thought it'd be cool to kind of organize it like that. Yeah, as you can see, there's a few people commenting yes down below, so you can see a lot of people have stumbled upon the channels and they know it's legit, and they can kind of, I think that's why a lot of people come here, because they see the actual channels and they think, how are you doing this? And then we kind of drop all the value. Someone says, you drop the niches on Telegram group? Yeah, so in the public group, we drop a couple niches, and I did a case study today about a cool niche. It was the mobile banking niche. But in the private group, we do more niche reveals, and we also give you like a kind of system to follow to actually find these niches yourself, so that you're getting these untapped ones essentially. Someone says, only 7 to 10 channels. Don't you do like 7.5k videos a month, bro? Yeah, we do around 7,000 videos a month. It's kind of, that's like what we should be doing. It kind of drops a little bit below that because people get sick and stuff. So maybe it's like 6,500, but yeah, across channels we do like up to 5,000 videos. I think our biggest channel has 9,000 on it, so we spread those across the channels. But yeah, if you kind of do the maths, and it does add up. Someone says, what's the hardest mindset shift you had when moving from ecom chaos to YouTube calm? Oh, that's a very, very good question. I'm going to have to think about the answer. So with e-commerce, one of the things is that when you find a winning product with e-commerce, you can sometimes scale it very quickly. The problem is that e-commerce is so hard these days, so it's very rare for that. But in the past, when I found a winning product, I'll be able to scale it to like 100k in a month. I'll go to like 0 to 100k in 1 month, and then it will drop off again. Now, that was a big shift because YouTube, specifically YouTube search automation, it's not like a big up and down. It's just like a consistent slow growth, and it took me a while to kind of get out of the mindset of like, make money now, and just like realize that building something slow over time, you actually make a lot more money. It's a lot more consistent, a lot more predictable, and a lot less stressful. That's one of the biggest things. But I wouldn't recommend anyone get into e-commerce these days. I have multiple friends. I mean, it depends how you do it, but like I've got multiple friends who have been doing e-commerce for years. One of my friends, he's been doing e-commerce for a few years. He's done 5 million in sales. It's a guy called Liam. He's done 5 million in sales, and he's been testing products for a year, and he hasn't found any winners. And like his old strategies just don't work, and he's moved into like other stuff. He's struggling to find winners. It's just really hard, essentially. Someone says, your room is awesome. Thank you. This is I've got a few guitars in the back. For tax reasons, do you recommend doing LTD or individual? Individual is easier to set up, and you can kind of set it up where it kind of goes to a business if you want to, but I'm not going to give advice on that. I'm not like a tax guy. Someone said, play guitar, bro. Not today. It's literally 2 a.m. here, so yeah, I can't play guitar, it's too loud. Someone says, how can I know it's your channel? Because you'll know it's my channel. You'll hear my voice on it. I use my voice on my channel. I use my face on my channels. You'll be able to see it's me. Someone says, yes, I've seen 7 channels of yours. They are coming for every topic. Yeah. And someone else said, yes. Someone said, how do you know? So yeah. So, should you buy pre-monetized channels? Buying pre-monetized channels means that you can make money straight away. There is a risk of some kind of bans of it, but like it's pretty unheard of. And then the only other negative potentially is like a organic channel potentially can grow quicker. But the results, the differences are pretty marginal. So I would recommend pre-monetized. And the thing with monetized one is you have to wait for it to get monetized. The one with a non-monetized, you have to wait for it to get monetized. We kind of have tested both, and we just recommend pre-monetized. It's easier. Someone says, when researching, you will know. He is ruling the search niche. His face is everywhere. Yeah, my face is everywhere on it. I even get people I know like message me or like see me sometime. They're like, I watched a tutorial the other day, and your face, it was you making it. And they're like, how do you make so many videos? It's quite funny. I said, Alex says that I'm going to live forever. He's like, you're never going to die. You're always going to be online. People are always going to be watching your videos for years to come, and it's true. Someone said, what is the hardest phase in search-based channel? How many videos before you see exponential growth? All right, so the hardest phase is when you first start off. Specifically for me, it was hard when I first started because I didn't have much guidance. I didn't know the best things to do. So at first it was like a really slow grind, to be honest. Like I had to kind of it wasn't like super slow, but I had to figure it out. And I had to like really, really make a lot of content and really test a lot of things to make it work. Now that we kind of have it locked down, it's like it's science. We know exactly how to make channels blow up. It's very, very easy. But the hardest part is the first couple months. Like especially if you are just getting started, you're like, does this work? Is this legit? Whatever. It's going to be a bit scary because you're just essentially just making videos and you're not going to know if it works. And then within a few months, you will start to see it will grow quickly. And we find that around after 3,000 videos, you'll see a crazy boom. After 3,000 videos, suddenly one day it will just spike up. And there's no real, I don't know why it spikes up, but it just spikes up to 3,000 videos. And for people that are new here, it might sound like a lot, 3,000 videos. 3,000 videos costs $3,000 to make, and it's very, very simple to do them. It's not rocket science. Each of these videos is only 2 minutes long. So yeah. Hey, how's it going? So, hey Harvey, how do you estimate a niche's RPM? So yeah, I've covered this earlier, but essentially we've got so much data on the niches. We've covered like almost all of the niches, or we've at least looked into all the niches a little bit. We have data on everything, so we can kind of estimate it. And if there's any niches that you want to know about, then we probably have the data on it and we can estimate. If not, there are ways of kind of figuring it out. If, as I said earlier, if you go on to Google keyword ideas, I think it's called, or Google keyword planner, something like that. You can check the cost per click, and that will allow you to estimate the RPMs. So I said, now that your system runs mostly on autopilot, what do you actually do with your time? To be honest, we just enjoy life. We get up and we go get coffees. We'll go get some breakfast somewhere. We like to do activities. So we've got dirt bikes. We love going on dirt bikes. We'll go on dirt bikes. So the other day we went surfing. We might take trips. So I went to Bangkok the other day. Like surfing, go-karting, so many different activities we kind of do. And then we like to go out for nice dinners. There's some really cool bars around here. So we go out for bars, we play pool. We kind of just play, we play video games. I love playing guitars. You can see I've got some nice guitars in the back here. We just kind of live life and enjoy it, really. That's one of the things that we like about this business, because it's so automatable. Someone says, how do I lock in and make so much videos? I can't focus. So the thing is, this is like a hard one. It's down to you. Like, you either want to do this or you don't. Some people say they're hungry. They're just hungry. A lot of people are hungry for success, but they're not hungry to put the work in. You have to put the work in. But one of the biggest things I found was that I'd remove the distractions. When I was making these videos myself every day, the first thing I would do is I'd wake up, I'd get out of bed. I wouldn't check my phone. I wouldn't watch TV, I wouldn't go on YouTube, I wouldn't do anything other than I'd go grab a Red Bull or a coffee, I'd go straight into the room and I'd start working then there. If I delayed it at all and I took some time out, or I did something first, I just wouldn't be able to lock in for the day. So get up, and the first thing you need to do is make your videos, and that's the best thing you can do. What does winning look like for you now that money isn't the main problem? It's a very interesting question actually. So I've been doing business for like 6 years, very, very hardcore, like very full time. I've had many periods of my life where I'm working like more 12 to 16 hour days, huge highs, huge lows, a lot of stress. And to be honest, right now, like, it's just great. I can finally just like relax and just enjoy my time. And I kind of just have a lot of, I feel like I'm winning now because I can just, do what I want. I get to eat amazing food. I get to meet so many cool people. I have just a lot of freedom now. Right now we're kind of just enjoying the fruits of our labor. And down the line, I think we'll probably start some more businesses. But for now, we're just kind of enjoying the hard work we've put in. But we love business. We love building business. It's a passion of ours. We love creating products. We love doing this stuff. So that's kind of why we do it. But right now, winning is just like being able to do what I want every day. And I'm really grateful for it, to be honest. Like, we live a really great life now. It says, if I make 900 videos every month, each between 2 to 4 minutes in the Binance and MetaMask tutorial niche, how much time do I need to get monetized based on your experience? Okay, so when you want to get a channel monetized, I wouldn't recommend going into high RPM niches. The reason is because you're not going to get that many views. What you want to do when you want to get monetized, you want to pick niches that get a ton of views, because a ton of views equals a ton of watch time and also a ton of subscribers. So essentially, when you want to get monetized, you just want to farm these high view videos. We actually do have some videos about it in the private group, essentially how to go ahead and do that. But yeah, you don't want to target the high RPM ones to start with. So send some more questions in the chat if anyone has any more questions. We're going for about an hour now, but send some more questions and then we'll wrap it up very soon. So someone says, how many keywords will be allowed? I don't know the exact number. You have to ask Alex, but it'll be like more than enough. It'll be like a ton. And actually, I think because you're using your own proxies, the limit is going to be unlimited. I think the only concern was like proxy cost. But you'll get like, you can generate thousands, 10,000 if you want, I think. Someone says, like what, give me an example. An example of a high view niche would be like gaming. Gaming is a very easy way to get monetized very quickly, like one of the easiest actually. Do you have a software that generates this video, or do I need some editing skills? Nope, we have our own full software that does everything. So you don't need to edit, you don't need to record your voice, you don't need to write a script, you don't need to do any of that. This software analyzes what the person is doing on the screen, and it will automatically make a video from that. And yeah, that is like the beauty of what we do. It's so easy, it requires no skill. It's just like simple problem solving, and it's very simple. Someone said, what's driving you now? Is it legacy, lifestyle, or just love of systems? Right now it's just lifestyle, to be honest. It's just like, just doing all the fun stuff, like really enjoying life. Yeah, that's what it is. But, you know, I'm sure that we're going to be back in the trenches at some point, because, you know, we just really do love business. So when I'm out in Thailand, after 5,000 videos, I'll give you a spa. Absolutely, man. Yeah, you should definitely. So for anyone who is interested in anything I've spoken about today, we have the Telegram group. I think most of you guys are in it. If you have any questions, you can send me a message here. I've just dropped my Telegram down below. We are going to be releasing this software, the keyword tool and the video production tool. It's going to be a part of like a wider program of teaching you guys how to go from a complete beginner to running a fully automated YouTube search business like we do. But yeah, if you're interested in joining that, we've got a wait list going. And then when we publicly launch, you can get involved. But yeah, send me a message about it now, and you can ask me any details, any questions. And yeah, if you have any questions in general, send them to me, and I can answer them. But yeah, awesome. Thanks so much, guys, for joining. I hope you found it useful. And yeah, send me any videos you'd like me to make, anything that's not clear, and I'll go ahead and do that. Thanks so much, guys. See you.